everyone. Welcome to the morning show. We're coming to you today on WJOP-LP Newburyport at FM 96.3, on Channel 9, and on Newburyport Community Media's YouTube channel at ncmhub.org. I'm your host, Mary Jacobsen, and today I am honored and delighted to welcome pianist Vera Danchenko-Stern to the show. Vera graduated from Moscow's prestigious Jacobsen Institute of Music in piano, solo performance, chamber music, vocal and instrumental accompaniment. She taught at the Royal Conservatoire in Toronto after immigrating to Canada in 1979. In 1990, she moved to Washington, D.C., where she's taught and coached at institutions ranging from Catholic University to Johns Hopkins, and she has given master classes and served as a jury member for numerous international competitions. In 2005, she founded the Russian Chamber Arts Society, which presents Russian vocal music rarely heard in the United States. She's here today to talk to us about a very exciting upcoming concert called A Tribute to Rachmaninov, a celebration of the 150th anniversary of his birth. This concert is due to take place September 10th at St. Paul's Church on High Street, right here in Newburyport. Vera, welcome, and thank you so much for taking time to visit the morning show.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a great honor for me, and especially with the such a wonderful situation and combination of playing in Newburyport plus celebrating the greatest composer, Sergei Rachmaninov. And that's how we did our program for our celebration in Washington.
Wonderful. Well, Vera, I know that there is a very charming story about how this concert came to be. And I was hoping that you'd share how a happenstance encounter on Newburyport's boardwalk led to this concert taking place here in September.
I'm still surprised. I surprise myself because usually I do not stop people who are walking on the boardwalk and ask them react on what they're wearing. But I guess that was, sort of pretty pre-programmed for me. Anyway, I was visiting with my friends, your beautiful, beautiful town. And we had a wonderful walk on your boardwalk. And then lady walks just in passing me in absolutely wonderful short with a beautiful, gorgeous picture of Italian cello. The reason I knew it's Italian because of the color. What's happened to me, I have no idea. Usually I'm much better mannered than that moment, but I did ask. I said, are you a cellist? She looked at me, but I guess because of my white hair, I did not present any danger. So she did respond, oh, yes, I am. I said, oh, wonderful. And I am a pianist. Hello, colleague. And so she said, oh, I also have a piano in my house. Oh, God. Then 3 days later than my visit, I had to play a big program in upstate New York. And I badly need to practice. And I asked, I said, would you please have me practice on your piano for 1 hour tomorrow? I have performance to come. She looked at me quite shocked, but anyway, to make the long story short, next morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, I was at Priscilla Beller house, hosted by this fantastic person, fantastic lady.
Yeah.
But hour later, she said to me, what do you think about giving us a concert at St. Paul Church? That's the story. Now we're going to meet September 10th.
It is truly a wonderful story. I just love that sometimes happenstance encounters in life just lead to very, very good things. You got to rehearse at Priscilla's house, and we get to have a Rachmaninoff concert. A win for everyone. Thank you, Vera. Well, Vera, could you please tell us about the Russian Chamber Art Society that you founded in 2005 and describe the organization's mission?
this also was quite interesting, unexpected, and very spiritual, I guess, experience in my life. I never thought of having anything even close to have my own concert series in the, Washington, D.C., or, the United States. One night when our sleep is very thin, it's in between 4 and 5, usually we all know and experience that, lighting came through my head with 3 words: Salone Ruskого Romansa, which means in French, Salon de Romance Russe, or in English, Salon of Russian Romance, but Salon having, a few connotations. So I decided that it will be Russian Chamber Art Society. Believe me, I was not at my best. It was something my students didn't get ready. So I think it was a message from my parents, who was professional musician, which I lost. And I think they just all watching me, all the people whom, are no longer with me, but they are somewhere watching over us. That was an idea. It was born in 5 o'clock in the morning. At the beginning of September 2005, I hardly waited until my husband, woke up, and then his normal life ended, because it was it was tons of questions of how. Anyway, everything was done over a few weeks. September 14th, 2005, we were incorporated. Then I took my group from Peabody to St. Petersburg, Russia, to this International Festival of Conservatories. We came back, New Year, February 5th, Sunday, 3 o'clock, phenomenal sunny day. We opened at the oversold house, and by public demand repeated the same program second time. Would you believe it?
Yeah, I would.
In March. And I started to, and that's a part of our mission. I started with the sort of anthology of Russian romance. In my talk before the concert, I will be very, very happy to touch this topic of what is that and what role it, this genre of the art songs, is in Russian culture. So we'll please wait until September. Yes. But all I can tell you that our mission is the main thing, is dedicated to chamber Russian vocal music.
Yeah.
And because the operatic genre, of course, I should not talk about instrumental or symphonic, but this genre of very intimate form of musical composition as an art song is practically unknown territory. Mainly, singers find a beautiful excuse. Okay, Russian is so hard. I said, have you tried? No. I said, then.
Well, Vera, that is a wonderful story, and it sounds like it was really an illumination, an inspiration that you received. And I look forward to hearing your pre-concert talk, where you can teach us more about the this form of Russian music. But let's talk about Rachmaninov, because the upcoming concert will take place on September 10th, which would have been Rachmaninov's 150th birthday. And now you've described Rachmaninov as a bridge between Russian and American culture. So I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about what about his history and his music make him a bridge between these two cultures.
Thank you so much. It's a wonderful question, because this question let us not only, concentrating not only on the Rachmaninoff's figure in American musical culture, but why not Stravinsky? Why not Antonin Dvorak? Why not? Because that's the Rachmaninoff left Russia before the revolution, a few months before. he did not leave Russia ever as the part of his everything, his psychological principles, his cultural, a very deep culture in him. He was practically the man of encyclopedic knowledge. And it doesn't mean it's only Russian culture. He was fluent in few languages. And, his education in the Moscow Conservatory, was amazing, incredible. He was trained not only as a pianist, but as the composer. Tchaikovsky was his idol. He worshipped Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky was he was a president of the jury when Rachmaninov took his last state examination as the composer. He was only 18 years old. Tchaikovsky insisted on getting him A+. Unique story. And that was Tchaikovsky. He recognized that talent. What's happened later? And actually, it's already start happening, but not as clearly as, now I'm going to touch a very serious point. Freedom of thinking. That was never, ever for us a moment to recognize before you are living that culture of, this way or no way. And he did experience this with his, teacher and, phenomenal figure in his life, his professor Zverev. What I'm talking about, when Rachmaninov left, all this incredibly deep influence of French Impressionism came up and was absorbed by him in different intellectual level. In his late operas, which you're going to hear at the concert, we already hear different Rachmaninov as every talented person that develops throughout the course of life. So we do hear different harmonies. We begin to hear the hints into different vision, coloristically, rhythmically. Anyhow, that's the main, very interesting for me, psychological bridge for Rachmaninov. When he came here, he did not compose that much anymore, but enough for us to feel that. Because his fourth concerto, if you have no idea of Sergei Rachmaninov and when did he come from, you may think, oh, that's interesting piece of Ravel, why I didn't hear. You see, so because combination of absolute incredible melodical structure, melodies and Russian melodies, but with everything what person now can and definitely are expressing throughout their creations, which was a musical composition. Though it's very, very unfortunate that Rachmaninov did not write the art songs, the romances anymore. He wrote 6 arrangements of the folk songs and a couple of choral pieces. And in one of his letters, he said, because people asked him about that, he said, I lost my audience thinking of Russian poetry, definitely Russian language. It's so, painful because he could have give us, more operas of absolutely incredible, but his sense of poetry is incredible, very deep. Plus, to telling you just one phrase before, our little talk before the concert. He was fluent in French, and a few of his songs were set on the poems of Victor Hugo. Voila. You see, and this, as I say, sense of music of the poem, of the language. That's incredible. So I think that's the most important psychological bridge.
Yeah.
And in his playing, we definitely hear the same. It's a freedom. It's an inner freedom of expression.
Well, Vera, you put that beautifully. I love that, the inner freedom of expression. Well, tell us something then about what the music will be in the concert. What will be performed and by whom?
That will be a whole program dedicated to the art songs, romances of Sergei Rachmaninov, from early opuses to the latest opuses, and are really, really extremely interesting young lyric tenor Fanyong will introduce this music, because what is the most important for us? It's not to play us, but to play the composer.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
And Fanyong is incredibly musical, very, very fine musician, besides being an excellent singer. We met in New York. He did not audition for me because he auditioned for my version of Eugene Onegin in New York before the COVID. And he was contracted as, to sing the part of Vladimir Lensky. And 15 minutes into our rehearsal, he came up to me and said, Vera, thank you very much. I'm home.
Oh.
Being born in Mongolia, China, he won the scholarship and went for 10 years to study in Odessa Conservatory.
Oh, okay.
That's why he still remembers how to speak Russian. And yet he had lots of work on addiction. That's wait until September 10th.
All right.
So, and I am really, really so honored to be asked to play this program, with Fanyong, because my idea now, it's not to play as much as possible myself. I am on stage over 50 years by now, but to bring up the generation of younger musicians, American musicians all over the world who are interested into this art of collaborating in playing Russian repertoire.
Well, that's just wonderful. I'm so excited about the concert. I can hardly wait. Mira, it sounds great.
Thank you.
There is, before we finish today, there is one thing I wanted to ask you about, and I know it's something you're interested in talking a bit about. Just could you comment a little? I know that as an American musical organization, the RCAS has made a statement that it stands in solidarity with Ukraine and its citizens at this time of great tragedy. Could you please share with us a little bit about your perspective and insights in forming this solidarity as an American of Russian heritage?
Absolutely. First of all, I'm adamantly against the war. That's number one. So there was no questions of anything else. Yeah. And when unfortunately this tragedy happened, we all at our first, not even board meeting, but telephone conversation, were trying to think, well, what we can do right now to help. That was the only moment. We did put this statement immediately on our website. It is preceding all and every concert. We are an American organization. Yeah. We do not have any funding from even US government or Russian government or whatever government. We're completely 501c3, living on a phenomenal support of people who are definitely understand the beauty of the music. It's nothing to do with any one of us. It's just just the product. That's about what we say. Now, since I have a privilege and honor to work with the Hey Fritz Young Artist Program at the Washington National Opera. So the first concert was planned. The aggression began, the war began in February, but our concert was first week of April.
Mhm.
And every single penny of that concert, we took all the, responsibilities for everything, but we all donated our honorarium. Plus, we made a very, how can I say, like a blitz donation, asking people to help.
Yeah.
We gathered as a small organization, and the time was just 1 month practically. $10,000 went
Wow.
to Ukraine. But beside that, what I've done, I took a liberty to offer my director of the Young Artist Program. And I said, as an encore, I would like to have all the singers singing a practically like second item, of Ukraine. It's a song. Everybody, it's like America the Beautiful, it just
Yes.
by the role in the culture, etc. So we learned that song. Our music director made the voicing and harmony, and I taught them how to sing this in of good Ukrainian. Anyway, people stood up immediately, and practically, even men, they were crying.
Yeah.
That was our little musical tribute, and very little, the smallest maybe drop, but that's what we did because we could not act otherwise.
Yeah. Well, Vera, every drop counts, doesn't it? And I think what you're describing is, one of the wonderful things about music and sharing music together in a live context is that it unites us. We have a shared experience of the impact that the music has on us. So thank you for that story. That's lovely. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Vera, I just want to remind people, gives people some logistical information about the concert. The concert will take place at 3 p.m. on September 10th at St. Paul's, 166 High Street in Newburyport. And you, happily, will be offering us a pre-concert talk at 2:15 p.m. And there will also be a reception following the concert. And tickets will be $30 in advance or $35 at the door. And for advance tickets and more information, people can visit the Eventbrite link. And that link is www.rachmaninov150.eventbrite.com, www.rachmaninov150.eventbrite.com, or for information, call 978-697-4084. Again, 978-697-4084. It sounds like such an extraordinary concert and music that we don't usually get the chance to hear. And we get to hear you play and we get to hear you talk, which is very exciting. Vera, thank you so much.
I have to thank you. I have to thank you.
I am so glad you had that happenstance encounter on the boardwalk with Priscilla. But I'm wondering if those illuminative presences in your life weren't guiding you to Priscilla.
I believe in it. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. It's really fun to talk to you. And I've learned a lot from you about Rachmaninov. And it's just so interesting to think about the things about freedom that make him a bridge between Russian culture and American culture. I can't wait. Thank you, Vera. You take care now.
Thank you so very much, and hope to see you all September 10th.
I hope everybody will come and enjoy the concert, Vera. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Enjoy your day.
Thank you. You too.